Everybody, welcome to the Tuesday night special webinar by Tarek El Moussa and team. Can you all hear me out there? Let me see some waves of some hands if you can hear me.
I can hear you, Jeff. How's it going? I made it.
All right, Tarek El Moussa, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you tonight, Tarek?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I was having computer difficulties as always. I am a real estate guy, not a tech guy. But yeah, so excited for tonight, everybody. So tonight's very special because we have our amazing homeschooled students on tonight. We have our coaches on tonight, and we've also opened up tonight to the general public to hear about this incredible software by a company called Privy. And today it's all about teaching you guys and giving you as much value as possible. And tonight is really about showing you how you can get started as a real estate investor today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. You don't have to go raise money. You don't have to knock on doors. You don't have to make calls. You can jump on the computer, put in the work, use the data, and find deals starting today. So along with me on here tonight with you guys, we have Benson from Privy, who's going to be walking us through his software. And of course, we have one of our main coaches over here, Jeff, who introed everybody. And then I'm sure I have a lot of people on my screen, but I'm sure we have all of the other coaches on tonight. So yeah, I see Lisa right there. Uh-oh. Mute everybody, please. There we go. So yeah, so that's it. So we're going to go over a deal finding session with Privy. Jeff, could you mute that, please?
I'm on it.
Great. So tonight we're going to be going over a deal finding session with Privy, and we're going to be doing everything humanly possible to lock up some houses tonight. So with all of that being said, I'm going to be here for any questions you guys have. Feel free to ask anything you want. Well, almost anything you want. With that being said, I'm going to introduce Benson now. Benson, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, your company, and what we're going to do today?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited and stoked. Let's see something here. There's an option to allow them not to unmute themselves. There we go. I think that'll do it. Well, thanks for having me, Tarek, Jeff, team. I'm super excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this ever since before Thanksgiving when we started promoting it. And, I thought a lot about what I wanted to do tonight to try to really wow people and get them excited about real estate investing, because I think so many people think that it's out of reach, that it's for somebody else to do, or it's what I watched Tarek do on TV, and it's entertaining, but is it really for me? Do I really have the ability to do it? And absolutely, everybody here can get into real estate investing, and there's all different levels of involvement that you can do. Everything from, doing wholesaling to, private money lending, to actually doing your own fix and flips, to buying rental properties, short-term rentals. There's all kinds of things that you can do in real estate. And so tonight, I really want to just kind of show you some of the things that people do when they leverage data and technology, and how it can make your involvement in the business, especially early on, so much more simple. So much of the veil can be removed from the business when you're actually looking at what other investors are already having success with. And I think there's a big chasm between the education that's out there in the world, the books and the podcasts, and the nuts and bolts of getting a deal done. And fortunately, you got homeschooled, right? So you're able to fill a lot of that void and helping people to take action. But a lot of what stops people is just not knowing what a deal even looks like. And the majority of that has to do with them not being able to see what other investors are doing. And so with our data and our technology, we're actually able to fill that void with education that will help teach people what a deal is based off of what other investors are doing. So my name is Benson. I've been in the business for over 20 years. I started way back in 2001. I was full active duty military, and I was listening to Carlton Sheets CDs and reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I really wanted to be in the real estate business, but I just didn't know how. So, fast forward to many years later, now I'm one of the co-owners of this amazing company called Privy. It's a real estate investment software. And we take a lot of the guesswork out of how to do deals by providing you with valuable insight and education on what's going on in the real estate world. So I got a couple, slides here, and then I'm going to show you guys, because what my goal is tonight is to actually show you how you could actually get deals done. And I'm going to do that by showing you deals that we're going to find live tonight. My goal is to find 5. Now, the cool thing about how I do this is I don't go in, I don't cherry pick these properties beforehand. I basically let the data lead us to where we should be looking. And this is one of the biggest things I want you to take away from tonight. If you take nothing at all, is don't get stuck in the rut of thinking I can only look for deals where I live. Or if I've never done a deal in another market, then I'm limited by where I geographically are located. And that's not the case with the advent of data and how it's available online, and with tools like Privy, you can literally do deals anywhere. And I believe, and Tarek, you probably can comment on this, is that most people fail because they're in a crappy market.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important the market that you choose to work in. And I'm always the first to say, typically, if you're like full on buying, fixing, flipping houses, it's best to start where you live in the market you know of, right? But we're talking about wholesaling today, which is flipping paperwork. So you're not fixing, you're not funding, you're assigning contracts, which we're going to be getting in, which means you can do it anywhere in the country. And so you guys know, I buy real estate in California, North Carolina, Utah, Ohio, Texas, Florida, like all over the country. Because why would I want to limit my opportunity to just this when I can get this? And with this system here, you can use Privy anywhere across the country. And Jeff actually brought up a good point earlier. It's like if you're flipping a house 3-hour drive away from you, well, you're not going to go there every week. So does it matter if you're flipping a house 3 hours away, 10 hours away, or on the other side of the country? It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. And seeing the data is actually what makes it comfortable, because it really early on, it goes beyond anything you believe is true and good in this world. Is like, oh my God, I got to do a deal in another market, and it's freaky. But I'm actually sitting in an Airbnb in St. Louis. I'm not from here. I stepped foot in this market physically about 3 months ago, but I had been doing deals here about 5 months before that. And I bought properties. This house I bought directly from the software, showing the same strategy I'm going to show you tonight. But I was able to get over that initial fear and that really uneasy feeling in my gut and get past and do it because the data tells a story that will help get above your fears. It's going to open up your eyes to what's possible, and it's going to make it actually really fun. A lot of people tell us that using Privy is like playing a game. And we got some people, this guy that says like every morning he'd roll over and it was like he was getting on his Xbox, and he would just get in there and he's like looking for deals, and he would do it until all hours of the night. And I was talking with another guy who's really successful. And he's like, I started off, planning on writing about 10 offers. And he's like, then I'm up till like 1 a.m, just like writing up like 47 offers later. I'm still on there playing the game. So we're going to make it fun too. All right. So part of what makes this strategy so powerful is not just the data, it's the philosophies, but also the systematic approach. And we call it the reverse REI strategy, which means you basically begin with the end in mind. Tarek, you probably know the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? That really popular book. And what one of the key principles in that book is begin with the end in mind. Don't just react. You plan a little bit ahead, several steps down the line, and then you reverse engineer it. And that's what we're able to do effectively with the data technology. And what it's going to help you do is maybe get your deal done, right? Like feel comfortable getting that first offer out and getting a deal done, or getting more consistency in your business so you can get more deals done and then build a business around it, right? Where there's predictability. We also help, spend less money on expensive marketing campaigns. There's this big debate about off-market properties versus on-market properties. And yeah, you can find great deals off-market, but it's really expensive. And that formula of perfecting that marketing strategy can take years, and most people never figure it out. So I'm going to show you some ways how you can find some low-hanging fruit, but also make your marketing way more laser focused. So you're focusing on the right areas. Or maybe you are out there writing a bunch of offers and you just can't get offers accepted. Like it feels like you're just doing offer after offer and they never call you back. You don't know why. And you're wondering like, what the heck is going on? We're going to help you with that too. Or maybe you get a lead back, but you just can't make the numbers work. Like you're looking at the data and there isn't any information there that will help you prove what this house is worth. Like what's the after repair value? We're gonna get into that more in a minute. But basically, it's what a house is worth after it's been fixed up and sold, right? It's the after product after you've gone and done all the work. So an important piece of what Tarek mentioned, which is this wholesale concept. We're not going to teach you how to wholesale tonight, but we're going to get into some of the things that you can do to wholesale. And one of those key elements is what's called buyers, right? Where you find the property, you do all the work, you find it using Privy or analyze it using Privy, and then you need to have somebody to flip it to for a small profit. And flipping meaning the paper, you're selling the contract. And so those are called buyers. And so we have endless ways of finding multiple buyers for you so you can execute that strategy.
And Benson, let me say something really quick. So just so everybody understands what wholesaling is. So if you've seen me on TV, I go out there, I buy a house, I fix a house, and then I flip a house, right? Sell the house. So this is what wholesaling is. So you're doing all the front end work as if you were gonna flip a house. So let's just say, and by the way, I wholesale more houses than I flip. So this is very important. So let's just say I come across a seller and they're in a situation and they want to sell me the house for $300,000. So I write a contract, Tarek El Moussa or a signee to buy this house for $300,000. Let's just say that I spent all my money last month buying a bunch of other houses, so I don't have any money. But the house, once it's fixed up, it's going to be worth, say, $550,000. So what do? Well, because in the contract, I put Tarek El Moussa as the buyer or a signee gives me the right to assign that contract to someone else. So now I have a contract signed for $300,000. I call my good friend Jeff, who's a fix and flip guy. I said, hey, Jeff, I got this awesome house. I can get it to you for $350,000. And when you're done, it should be worth about $550,000. Are you interested? Well, yeah, Jeff is interested because he fixes and flips houses. So what did I do there? I locked him a contract at $300,000. I assigned it to Jeff at $350,000. Guess who gets to keep that $50,000? The person who got the first contract and the person who assigned that contract. So with fix and flip, I buy it for $300,000. Put $100,000 into it and sell it. Wholesaling, I lock up the contract at $300,000. I sign it to Jeff at $350,000. He buys it, and at the closing, I get the difference of $50,000 between what I signed the contract for and what he and I signed the contract for. Does that make sense, everybody?
And
That's an amazing strategy. Go ahead, Jeff.
Real quick, I'll just add in. That's a great wholesale deal because you left enough profit on that deal for me, the flipper or the rehabber that's going to take on all the risk, the holding costs, the construction management. So thank you for that deal.
Yeah, you got it. And let me finish this. In case you guys are wondering, why would fix and flip Jeff buy this house off me for $350,000? Because the hardest thing to find is a deal. So if you're good at finding deals, there's investors that are great with construction, they're great with project management, but they don't know how to find houses. And that's where you guys come in. You're the deal finders. You're the bird dogs. And a wholesale fee could be $50,000, it could be $10,000, it could be $200,000. It just depends on what you get that contract signed for and what someone willing to pay for it.
100%. And you're delivering a valuable service. Like you mentioned that, they're good at a certain thing, but they're not good at everything. And so you're providing a service, and because this isn't unique, like there are tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of wholesalers out there that are doing this every day. And probably you already, are doing some yourself. So we're going to show you some ways that you can implement some better strategies in your business that will help you get better data to analyze deals, find more consistent deal flow, and kind of just piece that whole process together. By the way, this works for the fix and flippers and the landlords and all this stuff too, because what we're really good at is finding discounted properties. What you do with it after you get in a contract is up to you. If you decide you want to wholesale it, that's great. But if you have the bandwidth, maybe Tarek just finished a project and he's like, I need another one. I'm keeping this one for myself. Now he doesn't have to go pay a wholesaler $50,000 for that and just added 50 grand to his bottom line on the back end.
And that's why in Benson, in the contract, I put the buyer is Tarek El Moussa or a signee, which gives me the option. I can buy it, fix it, and flip it myself, or I can assign it to someone else. It gives you options.
It does. And the really cool thing about this is what you mentioned early on, or we were talking about, is it allows you to do virtually anywhere, right? And that's the fun thing about it, is so you don't have to play in your own backyard. You can get really, fun with it. You can actually look in other markets that maybe you would never go visit. Like maybe you're like, oh, I really would love to live in New York City, right? But you've never been there, right? You can go and you can actually do business there. Or maybe you live in New York, like, man, I can get out of New York and get to Florida, right? Like that, there's a big mass exodus happening there. So we're going to allow you to operate virtually anywhere in the US, and you can basically operate from home, right? From behind your computer. If you're still concerned with the safety situation out there with COVID, right? You can be safe. But you can also do this in your part-time. So you don't have to be doing this full-time. You can do it at nights, you do it on weekends in your free time, and you can get the family involved. I have so many people who use our system where it's like a husband and wife team, or a husband and daughter, or brother and sister team. And it's a fun thing to be able to do together as friends or family. And it just makes it so much more fun. So here's just a couple of the things that we do, and then we're going to jump in and start looking for deals. We've got multiple sources of data, which will allow you to do off-market deals if you want. You can go and you can find foreclosures, you can find vacant properties, those ones that you see that are, the grass is overgrown and the mail is falling out of the mailbox. We'll help you find those too. We're going to help you do your research. You can figure out, like, well, who owns that house on the corner, right? Where it's just you think the house is haunted and no one ever goes in there. Like, who owns that place? Well, we can help you find those people. When you're analyzing properties, the best data to use is the same data that agents and appraisers use. And that's called MLS, multiple listing service. We're the only platform in the world that has multiple listing service direct data on this scale. And so we're going to be able to provide information to you so you can actually get accurate estimation of what the property is worth in its current condition, but what it'll be worth after the flip, which is what drives this whole business we're talking about. We're going to help you create automated systems. So while you're at work, or you're with the family, or you're doing the things you need to do, literally deals will just show up in your inbox, already pre-vetted, ready to go. So let me show you guys how this works. I'm excited. All right, so I'm going to jump in here, and can I just get a confirmation, Jeff? You can see my map.
I can see your map, and I just want to address a couple of questions. We will have time for some Q&A after you do your demo. I know I see some fast and furious questions coming in, and thank yous for some breakdowns. And we're going to make this as 101 user-friendly as humanly possible, but I'll do my best managing some basic questions in the chat, or some DMs I'm already getting, no problem there. But besides that, we're also going to share some bonuses and some links. So yeah, stick around for all the good perks, if you will, for showing up tonight. And again, thank you all for being here. So Benson, it's all yours.
Amazing. So here you can see we've got data sources for the whole entire country. I'm not going to bore you with those different things, but what it basically tells us is we can operate anywhere. So if you're really excited about operating in your own backyard because you can go look at the property with your own two eyes, that's fantastic. But I'm going to show you that there's a better approach to actually where you look for deals. And it should be based off of what's called investor activity. Now, right here at the top, we've got some easy buttons that we built into the system, so you don't have to go and build, a really complex filter, and even that's fairly simple. But with one button, I can click, and it's going to plot on the map where all the successful closed, fix, and flips have happened in the last 12 months. And so we got basically a heat map. Where you see the most blue, where you see the larger circles and the higher numbers, is where more activity is happening. Now, why does that matter? Well, because fix and flips, wholesale, real estate in general, is based off of what's called comparables. The only way you can prove what a property's worth is if you can find a similar house that's in the same neighborhood and what that house sold for. We use that to predict what this other house is going to be worth. In the fix and flip world, we use fixed and flipped houses to prove what an unrenovated home is going to be worth after it's been fixed up. And so that value of what that home that was fixed up was sold for, that's called the after repair value. And the only way you can determine the after repair value of a property that you're looking to fix up or wholesale is if you've got a renovated home that's close to you that was fixed up. So what that tells us is when we look at the map here, you don't want to be looking for deals in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because there's nobody doing deals there. There's no comps. So you could be really good at finding unrenovated homes, and you can go there and do the best fix and flip you've ever done. And it looks just like one on, Flip or Flop, and it's got, beautiful glass tile, and it's got amazing kitchen, and they knocked walls down, and it's light and bright. But if there's no data to prove what that thing is worth, meaning other fixed and flipped homes, that appraiser is going to have a really hard time giving you the maximum value on that thing. So you have to be very deliberate about where you look for deals, because that is, again, that's beginning with the end in mind and working backward. So don't look in Sioux Falls. Well, where do you look? Well, you look in areas where you have high investor activity. So as we're looking in here, we can see that there's certain areas that have higher amounts than others. I'm actually from Denver. Look at 2,066 fix and flips in the last 12 months. I happen to be sitting in St. Louis. So there's over 2,600 in the last 12 months.
And by the way, Benson, I just got to say this so you guys understand, because I saw some people with some questions saying, well, how do you find the investors? Here's an example. In the Denver area, there was 2,066 houses flipped. Well, we teach you how to make contact with those investors that are dying for you to bring them houses.
Absolutely. And many of those people are looking for houses right now already. And we know that they likely are is because they just closed a deal, and we're able to see who those people are and actually see the projects that they flipped. So we know what they want to buy by looking at the data. One of the hottest areas, I mentioned this to Coach Jeff earlier, he happens to be originally from Chicago. 4,500 deals closed in the last 12 months in Chicago. It's one of the hottest markets in the country. Now, if you watch the news, you probably wouldn't believe that that's true, because they're going to tell you it's so dangerous that you shouldn't walk around there. But look at all that activity. Somebody's moving there, right? Look at Cleveland, 2,100 deals. Indianapolis has a good amount of activity. Probably the hottest market in all of the East Coast is Philadelphia. Look at that. 6,000 properties. Baltimore is really hot. As you move down the coast here, another market, you mentioned North Carolina, 3,700 plus deals in Charlotte. Raleigh-Durham is not doing too bad. Another really hot market, Atlanta. Atlanta is really good right now. Lots of activity happening there too.
No, I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you, Benson. I mean, you guys, come on. How great is this technology? I mean, come on. Look at how easy this is. When I started, I was knocking on doors. Dogs were barking at me, chasing me down the street. People are screaming at me. And now we just jump on the computer and a blue button pops up, tells you how many houses were done and if that's a good market or not. Come on. How beautiful is that?
It really is the best time ever in history, Tarek, to get involved in real estate or raise your game with what you're currently doing, because you're probably not doing it the most effectively and efficiently that you can. And that's what the data helps us do, right?
And I always say, if people would just treat real estate investing like they treated high school, they'd probably be a big success. Like, because in high school, they made you study, they made you do your homework, you had to be in class on time, you would be late, you would get detention, Like, this isn't rocket science. This is just learning and going through a process. And we've helped thousands and thousands of people around the country do this.
Tarek, I want to just add on that real quick, because you hit a chord where between yourself, myself, and Benson, 2020, we got about 60 years of experience, and we pounded the old pavement. I remember filling out like long legal pads on one property, trying to figure out, do the math, do all the data. This stuff, I mean, when I first had this like demonstration, I was just saying I kept going, wow, 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 wow. So again, I'm going to pass the mic to Benson and let him continue to wow everybody else and show us the power of Privy. Go for it, Benson, please.
Yeah, and I wanted to look at Los Angeles, right? Because this is Tarek's backyard, right? Like, this is where he cut his teeth.
I'm sorry, I just have to say something really quick. So, for the most part, you do not need a real estate license to wholesale. The only place one of the places I'm familiar with where you do need a real estate license to wholesale is Illinois. So before you start your wholesaling journey or whatever it is you're trying to do, make sure you check. So if you live in Atlanta, Google, do you need a real estate license to wholesale in Atlanta? If you're in North Carolina, Google, do you need a real estate license to wholesale in North Carolina? So just make sure in your state you're able to wholesale without a real estate license. But to the best of my knowledge, it's only a small handful of states that don't allow it.
It is. And you bring up probably a really good point right now for We're not your attorneys. We're not your CPAs. We're not your real estate agent. Okay, so do your due diligence. That being said, even in Illinois, you can still do deals like this, but they call it, it's not wholesaling. You can do well, there's assignments, right, Tarek, right? So like we do assignments. You can quote unquote wholesale in these other markets. You just have to do it differently, like a double close, which is basically 2 closings to the title company, or you can use transfers of like an LLC or another entity like a land trust. So there's ways of executing this, which is for another class, and we'll do those classes another time, guys.
Yeah.
But just know that this will work anywhere. It's just that there's a little bit of a different path. Okay. So our Illinois folk, you're not going to be disappointed. We'll be able to help you too. So now looking at the map, I wanted to highlight, Tarek's backyard, because even though it's not the best area to invest, these are the areas where actually you need to be ever more focused about where you're looking, like which neighborhoods, besides just kind of general areas. So I'm going to drill down into the greater Los Angeles area, and you tell me what you think about this, Tarek. I'm going to show you where the hottest area is based off the data. Okay, so we're going down further and further here. The number that's sticking out right here is this 643.
Yep.
And that's going to plop us right into the 4 corners, right? So where the 110 and the 105 cross, we got Inglewood, USC. This corner right here is the hottest area for fix and flips in all of Southern California. So what's cool about this, number one, is you can figure out where you should be looking. And at that point too, you can start to do your local market education. Remember earlier I was mentioning that, there's lots of good education out there, but a podcast can't tell you the hottest area to invest in your backyard, or it can't tell you what a deal is in Inglewood. What is a deal here? Well, what we do is we zoom in and then we use the data to tell us what a deal looks like, because we can look at what they bought it for. We can see what they sold it for. We can see what their gross margins are. And we can see cool stuff like pictures, right? So we can see, because the reveal at the end of Tarek's show, always where they show like the house when it's finished, and then they show what it looked like before. That's the funnest part of the show, right? You always wait for the end because you want to know what the big reveal is. And here's an example right here on the left. So this house right here, 5340 Burnhurst Avenue. Look how beautiful that house is. This was a house that was just fixed and flipped and sold. When I click that property card, it shows this report here. Now, I've been an agent for over 10 years, and even with my direct to MLS data and me being in the business for 20 years, it would take me over an hour, maybe 2 hours to build this report. It's called a comparative market analysis. It involves the property information. It involves information about the property comparables. So the system automatically goes and it pulls comps for you. It'll show you rental comps in many markets. It shows you the sales comps so you can determine what the value is. Below that, it shows the before and after data on the flip itself. So over here on the left is when they bought the house. So they bought the house in May 2022. Here's what it looked like before they fixed it up. With that big old bear. You got this nice corner area for an amazing
What did they pay for
office.
this thing, and why didn't I buy it? What's going on?
Well, they bought it for $1 million.
Oh.
Sold it for 1.4. They bought it at 71% of the after repair value. Now that 71%, you guys, is important to know. Even if you don't understand this, you don't have to get your full mind wrapped around it. But what it means is when they bought it for $1 million and they sold it for 1.4 million, that means they got it at 71% of what they sold it for. That's important because a lot of numbers in the business that are based off of these percentages, and we're going to teach you exactly what that means and how to do it. But the lower the percentage, the better discount they got, the better the deal was. And in LA, this is pretty good. Before the downturn 6 or 7 months ago, I saw people going up to 80, 82% of the ARV in the greater Los Angeles period all the time. It was happening. So this is a pretty good deal. The 407 here is their gross margin. That's everything they made, but it doesn't count costs. So if there was $100,000 in construction costs, if there was $50,000 in realtor fees and other finance costs, that might take it down to like $100,000. I mean, actually, Tarek, based off of what you know, looking at this gross of 407, what do you think they actually put in their pocket on something like this?
All right, so let me run some quick numbers here. So they paid $1,015,000. I would think realistic, they probably spent on their rehab. I mean, that looks like a $200,000 rehab, but I do everything licensed, bonded, and insured, so it's hard to say. Let me see one more picture. So I'm going 150 rehab. So let's say they paid $1,015,000, puts it at 1,165,000. 1, 2, 6, 3. I think their break even is in the low 1.3s, 1.33, 1.34. So at the end, I think they made about 80 grand on this.
Okay.
But if they got their construction done cheaper, which there's a good chance they did, then it could be as high as 130, 140, maybe even 150.
So they turned this thing around in 112 days, right? So they were in and out of that thing fairly quick, right? For the size of this house. Now they overpriced it, right? It was 90 days on market. So, an $80,000 net profit in 202 days maybe isn't bad, right? You couldn't make that money in the stock market, right? So they took maybe 5% they would have made in the stock market, and they went and doubled or tripled it by doing a flip. Now they probably came out of that gray and old and beat up.
Yeah.
But
So here's an example, everybody. So let's just say that Tarek buys houses. I locked up this property with the seller at $1,015,000. And then I called the investor and I said, hey, do you want it for $1,050,000? Well, based on these numbers, they're probably going to say yes. So then I would get a $35,000 wholesale fee. And then when they flip the house, they'll just make a little bit less money, but there's still meat on the bone. They still want to make that money because on the low was 80, on the high was 140. There's money to be made there. So, and that's what we're trying to say. Investors that are buying, fixing, and flipping, they're looking for deals. So if I would have locked up this deal, I could have assigned it to this fix and flipper and they would have flipped the house. But they got to it before me.
They just beat you to it, right? And so who are these lucky dogs that got this property? Well, they're right here. It's Pick Strat Op Fund LLC. So weird name, but what this does is it shows us who these people are so that when we go out and we start doing this on their own, we can actually build a list of active investors that might be willing to buy those properties for us for a small fee. And then we just have to go and find these things, and we can help you do that. But we'll help you build this list. It's called a buyer's list. So Pickstrat Funding LLC, we get this from the county record data. Now, to get contact information, there's a couple other steps to find a phone number or an email address, but it's available and people do this every day. So we'll help you build that list by looking at all of these closed deals. Every one of these properties is a closed deal and there's a buyer attached to it. All right. If you're a real estate agent, every one of these people is a potential client of yours. So if you're an agent and you're looking for potential clients to help them find properties to fix and flip, this is a great way to generate leads for that. So what we figured out is we got at least one buyer that's willing to buy a property from the MLS at 71% of the ARV. And we know the hottest area to look in all of Southern Los Angeles. That was by looking at one property. What else can we learn? So we go in the before and after data on this house. This is 420 West 40 or 93rd Street. It was a mess. It was an on-market deal. They got it at 58% of the ARV. So what is that? 13% less than that last property directly from the MLS. And there's going to be a lot of people out there, if you guys have been around the business for a while, that tell you can't find stuff on the MLS. Absolutely you can. And this is a perfect example of that. They grossed $299,000 on this. And then over here on the right is the after pictures. So you can see what kind of construction they did, what kind of materials they used. You can basically figure out where the bar has been set. Now, if you are a flipper yourself, you get in, and this happens a lot on the first flips people do, is like they do what they would want to live in, or like what they saw on Tarek's show, like, oh my God, Tarek put a waterfall in his house. I want a waterfall in my house. Like, no, you want to build to the level of the neighborhood. Otherwise, you're going to leave money on the table. So by looking at these images, you can get a really good sense of like what's appropriate here. And this is all local market knowledge that will help you be more prepared to operate in this area. Yeah, it's fun. This is the before and after. And then the property history on this one. This one was Event Alley LLC is a seller on this. This is one of Tarek's competitors.
Yeah, and they did pretty good. What did they pay for this thing?
They got it for 420, sold
They
it for
got it-
719.
420, 719. And they probably spent, 130, 140, 130 probably fixing this thing up. So what did we say they paid? They paid 420 plus 130 puts us at 550. They're going to have about 40,000 in closing costs and commission to sell. That puts them at 590. Add some carrying costs and other fees. They're going to have a break even of about 620. They sold for 719. They made 100 grand. Not a bad day at the office.
Yeah, you guys probably were. It didn't have $1 million like that other people did to make more money than they did on a smaller project. Like, how cool is that? So again, this is just some examples, you guys. So the reason why I show you this is because this is what tells me and informs me what a deal looks like. So now what I can do is I can take that information and I can go look for deals to give to these buyers that we know that just closed and everybody else that's here, right?
Exactly. Hey, Benson, real quick. So I just want to say one thing really quick. So this property, what did they pay for it? The one we just looked at?
They paid 440. Let's see.
Okay. So
420.
they paid 420, right? And what did I say a minute ago? I said they made about $100,000, right? So now imagine that I locked up this property with that seller at 420, right? So now I have a contract at 420. And then I went to this actual buyer and I said, hey, you want this deal at 440? Well, there's a very good chance they're going to say yes, based on the numbers. So they could buy it for 440, fix and flip it, and still make around $80,000. So there's
They
enough
absolutely
room in there
can.
for everybody.
There is. And think about too, remember that last property we looked at, they bought it at 71% of the ARV, right, Tarek? So let's just pretend we use those same numbers here. That other buyer, we know will go up to 71% of the ARV in the right condition. Well, if they were going to go buy this property, let's say you did lock it up at 420, and we know they'll go up to 71%. Well, what's 71% of 719? That's right. That's the ARV times 0.71. So literally, if we could find that other buyer and they stay consistent, they would buy this thing for $510,000. Not just 440, 510 if they will buy consistently at 71%. That's a huge margin. That's $90,000 potential assignment fee there. Potentially 90,000. So 440 to 510 is based off of the two buyers that we just found. That's the potential range here of a wholesale type fee you can make by just doing what we're showing you tonight. Now, again, it all depends on the buyer, depends on their mood. You know, not every fix and flipper is looking to, hit a home run every time. Sometimes they're just like, man, we just need to get a deal. We got money sitting in the bank. Let's turn that cash. We got a construction crew that we need to keep busy so they don't go work for another flipper. Like, they're thinking about all kinds of other things. So we got a good sense of what a deal is in this market. Now, how do we find deals to go buy? Well, we could look for properties that are off market, right? These are houses that aren't currently for sale, people that maybe are in distressed situations. We've got that data here. We're not going to do that tonight, but I want to show you how simple it would be if you just wanted to pull like a list of foreclosures from here, or if you wanted to find vacant homes, or you wanted to find, senior owners or zombie properties. Like, we can help you generate those lists so that you can look for those kind of off-market opportunities where people maybe haven't really thought about selling. Now, what's involved with that is marketing, right? So you're going to have to go and maybe spend some money on a mailing campaign, or maybe you're going to have to get on the phone and start cold calling people. And there's some people that are good at that. Some people really excel at doing those kinds of activities, but we need to rather just talk to somebody who's like, hey, I want to sell my house. Do you want to buy it? And then all you have to do is figure out if you can buy it at the right price, where the people that flip these properties would want to buy it from you. So how do you find those? Well, with one button right here at the top, it says find similar active deals. What our system's doing right now, it's going in and it's pulling comps on every single property in this area, and it's only going to show us the houses that match our deal criteria. Now, based off those last two houses, one of the properties was at 60%. So we're going to lower this because that initial search, we were at 71%. So let's lower this to say 60% of the ARV. Actually, let's go a little bit higher. We might be able to negotiate a deal. Let's go to 63%. And then let's say we know that based off of those other two properties that they don't want to spend more than say 700,000. Now, in a perfect world, usually you guys, what you're doing is you talk to these people and then you ask them, hey, I saw you bought that house over on XYZ. You bought it for 420 grand. You know, is that kind of what you like to buy? Tell me more about what you're looking for, and then we'll help you find it. And they'll say, like, yeah, I love that neighborhood. I don't want to spend more than 700 grand. I need to get it at this discount and XYZ. And then you can come in here and you basically just set the filter, create their buy box, and this will find properties that fit the criteria of whatever it is you're looking for. And if you're a flipper yourself, well, this is your buy box. This is what you want. So let's go ahead and run this here. And I'm going to say something that came on the market recently. And now the system that went in and just pulled comps on all the property in this area. So let me just come out just a tad here. All right, so let's look at some of these houses. Here's a property that just came on the market. It's 699,000. This one's 699. This one's 549. So there's some opportunity here. I mean, this one came all the way down to 439.
That must be a senior community. No, yeah, it's 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Look at that.
239, not 439.
440. Well, look at this one. This one's beat up. This one's a project.
Oh yeah.
You think you could repurpose that carpet for anything?
Hey Benson,
Probably
this one
not.
looks like there might be a fix and flip investor trying to bail on it. Can you check the history when it last sold?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So this one, you guys, for sale for potential abounds. You know, there's stuff in here about investors. Sometimes people search for deals and they use the keywords to try to find opportunities. Here's all the comparables. The first thing I notice is look at all of these fix and flips in the neighborhood. So what we do is we remember all of those properties that were on the map that were red. Well, what we do is we'll add them to the comp set if the property is similar. And so this property has several houses that were flipped to tell us it's a deal. And so what we can do is we can use houses that were flipped to prove to our M buyers what this house will be worth after it's been flipped. But remember earlier, if you were looking in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you wouldn't have any of these flipped properties as part of your comp set, but we have them here. So the closest fix and flip property to this house we can get for 440,000 sold for 805,000. So now that property does have additional bedrooms and bathrooms, so we'd have to make some adjustments down on this property, but that might lower it to say 700K. Well, if we just do some basic math, if we can get it for 440,000 and say the ARV is around 700,000, we're still at 62%. There's still a really good potential deal here. Let's go down even further. And this is owned by Mortgage Equity Conservation Asset Trust. Don't know what that is, but it's currently for sale, and they've had it for a little while, but it was sold from one trust to another trust, Tarek.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like an investor might be bailing on this thing, which means they might be desperate, which means they might be negotiable.
Exactly. So this one, I mean, would you want to call on this?
Yeah, let's see. I think we have yeah, let's give him a call. Let me see if I can get the agent on. I'll do it right now.
Okay.
All right. Let me chime in real quick, just so everyone can appreciate. Here we're on software. We found a property. We're going to get on the horn and do a live call on a Zoom webinar. I know there's a lot of questions going on. We'll get to the questions. I see a lot of questions about math. Like I said, that's what we teach and train here at Homeschool. All of our students get, held by the hand through 101, 102, 103, all the steps in rehabbing. But we are going into like a potential deal right here, pre-qualified by Privy. And so, yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, if we get a voicemail or a live person, you never know until you call, right, Tarek?
Let's try it. listen, everybody, like no bullshit here. You know what the key to my success is? I just do it. That's it. I do it. If I want to lose weight, I go do it. What does that mean? I go to the gym and I eat less food. If I want to flip more houses, what does that mean? Well, I better make more calls and do more marketing and work harder. It's like anything in life, you just do it. So I'm a big believer in not talking about it, not thinking about it, just getting started and doing it. So yeah, let's do it. Let's call these people. Let's make it happen.
So I pulled this up on my side screen here. The agent's name is Gil. His number is, and I don't know if this is a cell or if it's direct. You know how these agents are. 714 797
All right.
9579.
9579. Can I scroll this page? No. Okay, so 2-bedroom. Okay. Gil, you said, right?
Gil.
How long has it been on the market, Benson?
8 days.
Automated voice messaging system. 7.
Well, who would have thought a real estate agent that doesn't answer their phone? Let me try one more time. I stalk people too. By the way, so I just called this number. They didn't answer. Guess what I would do next? I would then send a text message. And then after that, I would look them up, find their email, and then I'd find them on social media, and then I'd call them again. One second. Hello? Got it. All right, thanks. So that was Adam. He's one of my team members. He said this is an auction.com property. We won't be able to get in hold with Gil. So let's find another one. I'll call a different one. Well,
Okay.
It's ringing. What's the address?
1658 West 65th Street.
Your call has been forwarded to an
All
automated
right.
voice.
Well, maybe Gil will call me back. Let's look for another one.
We have a co-agent here.
Yeah, see, by the way,
Actually,
he texted me back in a meeting, can't talk, feel free to text.
there we go.
So look for the next one.
I'll find another property here. Maybe
What's the address one more time, Benson? Sorry.
it's okay. 1658 West 65th Street.
Got it. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
All right, cool. Let's check this house out. So you guys, these houses that we're looking at, these were plucked out of hundreds or thousands of other listings that are for sale in this area. So basically what we're doing is we're eliminating 95 to 98% of every property that has no data that says it's a deal. And then we're focusing in on the ones where there is data present that says it's a potential deal. And then we're vetting them out further and comping them out and then finding the ones that look like they're good. So the data, I mean, this is stuff that would take me hours and hours and hours to do before, but again, it's all happening automated. Now, once the search is saved and created, then all you have to do is just check your inbox and it will continue to send properties that match your deal criteria. Now, this one looks like it would be a potential deal, but the comp that we used to flag this one as a deal, you guys, but it hasn't sold yet. So it was flipped. It's been a few days on market. That's not enough data for me to feel comfortable writing an offer on this thing at or even close to asking price. But the next highest sold comp over here is right around 720. So at 720, if you look at this house, this one looks like it's been renovated, right? It's not a fix and flip, but it's been updated. So this one's likely like, you know, representative of the ARV.
Yeah.
So if 720 is there.
So I would say looking at this house at 720, and if I were to buy that same house and make it like new, I'd probably get, you know, 760 to 775.
Okay. So let's do say 760 is the ARV on that. And this house you can get for 480. Let's multiply that by, I don't know what we were saying at 0.63 earlier. So 478. So we're close to the asking price on this one, Tarek.
All right. Should I give him a call?
Well, let's see if we can find them. So this one's Vicky Sill.
Vicky.
The quirky thing about CRMLS is they don't give us the phone numbers, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But there's an extra step here. So let's look for
Google.
Vicky.
Isn't this technology amazing? You go to Google, you put in a name and the company they work for, and then a website or a phone number comes up.
It is Awesome. Oh, come on.
Copy and paste. That's the magic. Look at all that research we just did. You guys
All
can
right.
do this. I'm telling you, it's up to you. Commit to doing this for you, for your family. I mean, real estate changed my life, and every single one of you can do this.
So Tarek, while you
Absolutely.
pull that up, that's a perfect note. So I'm going to share a link because I've got questions going on in the chat box about homeschool and how do you get more information. I'm going to put and drop that link into the chat box for those that are asking and curious, and how you connect with us and Privy. And we're a strategic partnership where all of the above comes in to the mix as far as homeschool. And so FYI on that, back to you, Benson.
Yeah, and someone, Ryan just put Vicky's number in the chat. So I'm going to try giving Vicky a call. And our street is?
It's Bainwell.
Bainwell in Azusa. How long has this one been on the market?
9 days.
9 days. All right. Let's see if they have some offers. Vicky,
Your
right?
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 6.
Well, who would have thought? And that's why I say it's a numbers game. So when I was prospecting back in the day, I would make 500 to 600 phone calls a day. And by making 500 to 600 phone calls, I was able to have 50 to 60 conversations. I'm going to stalk Vicky one more time. Sorry, Vicky, if you're out there.
Your call has been forwarded.
Okay. Bainwell. 1 second here.
Yep. So
Hi, Vicky. This is Tarek El Moussa. I was calling to see if Bainwell Avenue and Azusa is still available. Please let me know. Thank you. So that'll open up the conversation.
And real quick, Tarek, I love how you're saying it. I think we all know what you mean, but just for clarity, when you say you're stalking someone, that means professionally we're calling them, we're texting them, we're emailing them. Yeah, we're not doing anything inappropriate, just so we're all clear, all right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, nice little CYA there, right?
Exactly.
So what I would do here, you guys, is right, just because we called on these, we didn't get them, doesn't mean we forget about them, right? So in your business, what you would do is you would save them. So you would add them to a list, right? So you're going to put them into my my showings list, right? Maybe you have one, it's like my favorite LA deals, or it's deals to follow up with. So we're going to save those there so we don't lose track of them. So there is a kind of a CRM here built into the system. So we didn't have any luck on a couple of properties there, but I do want to find some deals. So we found 2 potential deals. So I did say earlier that we're going to share these with you guys. So I'm going to give you this sharing link. So right here, we got this really cool handy sharing tool. And this is going to allow you to basically open up these properties on your own computer or on your phone and look at the same data that we're looking at. And then tomorrow, if you want to go write an offer on these things, you can. Right, so we're giving you the information you need to be able to actually go and execute with these things. Okay, so there's the first one on 65th. And here's the one on Bainwell. Now, in your own business, there's other use cases for sharing these things. So if you're an investor, you might send it to your agent. If you're an agent, you might send it to your client. We have a lot of people that use these to market their wholesale deals. So once they get a property under contract, they go and they send these out to their buyers list, and then the buyers can look at the data. And it's not like a static PDF or some spreadsheet. It's actual information that they can interact with. They can click through the photos. They can look at the comparables and say, oh, well, look at the comps, right? Like, oh, cool. Well, shoot, I was thinking I might flip this, but I didn't know the rental rates were $2,700. That thing might cash flow, right? So maybe they change their perspective there on what they can do with it. So a couple different strategies there. We were going to look at some other markets. Remember earlier, you guys, I was showing you some of those hot areas. Well, what's another market that we can go try out and look for deals as well? So let's say we did, I think we.
Hey, Benson, why don't we try Phoenix as one example? Because I'll try calling them. It's not too late. Maybe they'll answer. And then after that, we can do something on the East Coast.
Sure. Yeah, let's look at that. So in Phoenix, one thing I will mention here, Tarek, is we don't have direct to MLS data in Phoenix. So this is third-party MLS data. Okay. So what that means is it's not as quite as up to date as if we had the direct to MLS, but still potentially actionable. So let's look at some of these properties here, something that might be interesting. So with the third party, you get street views. You don't get the actual real photos. This property here, it's for sale for $320,000. And we got some houses up here that say this thing is going to be right in the 520 value mark. So that puts us in the 62% range. Now, the thing that makes me curious about this one is the comps. They're newer, right? So these were both 2000.
So Benson, sorry, just so everybody understands. So when you're looking at this property right here, and you're saying 62%. So what you're saying is they bought it for 62% of what they eventually sold it for.
No, now that we're looking at active properties, we're looking at properties that we can buy this property for 320 and potentially sell it for 520 because that's what the properties down here sold for.
Got it. Yeah, the percentage of ARV though, that's on the sales price, right?
Right. So these two houses sold for 520. So if these are true comps and we can buy this one for 320, then 320 is 62% of 520.
Got it.
Right. Now, I actually don't think these are good comps because these are too new. And a lot of the area that this house that's older is in is newer construction. So I'm going to pass on this one. Here's one at 379. Let's come down to the comps on this one. So the property here, the one that flagged this house as a potential deal is way over here in the corner. So there's lots of other properties that are closer that aren't giving us that large of a spread. But if we could use that one, we would only have one comp, probably not enough there for us to justify that one. Actually, let me try one thing here. I'm going to include surrounding areas. What that's going to do is it's going to include houses that are outside of Phoenix proper. And then there might be another opportunity here that we can look at. 284. So this is technically in Scottsdale, but it's in the general area. So this one here looks a little bit better of an option because we do have more blue. So we make this really visual, you guys. This isn't some like spreadsheet or a PDF that you have to really dig deep and analyze. Like basically the more blue you have, the more data there is that says it's a deal. And then we can come down in here and we can look at the properties and we sort by distance. And the closest sold fix and flip in this area went for 790. So this one's around 47% of the ARV. This one down here sold for 680. So this one might be a potential deal too. So let me go ahead and share this one with the group. That's on Chaparral Road. I'm going to put that one in the chat for you. Now, staying in the Arizona market, Tucson is actually a market that has some good data. So why don't we look down here in Tucson and see if there's anything that pops up that might be good too. And you guys, I know there's lots of questions here. We're moving really fast, but the point of tonight is to really just kind of give you some insight into some possibilities here. All right, so here's a house. This came on the market yesterday. 179 grand. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,186 square feet. Investment opportunity, says that right in the description. And this property, all 3 of the comps were flipped. So you get it for 179. This one's, they're all 3 2s. They're all basically the same square footage. And the percentages here, Tarek, look at these. 53, 56, 62. That one's looking prime. This one might be an interesting one to call.
So what's the ARV on that one?
The ARV is going to be right around 320, 325.
325, 1,200 square foot house. Can I see the pictures real quick? To give you get an idea of how much I think it's going to cost an investor to fix this thing up.
Can you tell that from blurry pictures of the exterior of the home?
Yeah, the thing is, construction pricing is, a little different in different markets. Like in California, it would probably, it would definitely cost me more money to remodel that size house. So, I mean, I would say in that area to remodel this house, I mean, someone could probably get it done between 80 and 100,000. And they're asking 180. So let's just say, I'll give you a hypothetical example. Let's just say it would the ARV, what it's worth after it's fixed up is 320,000. Let's just say it cost $80,000 to make it look like a $320,000 house. So then we take 320 minus 80 puts us at 240,000. When we go to sell the house with commissions and closing costs on 320, it's going to cost about $20,000. So we take 320 minus 80 to fix it up, puts us at 240. And then it's going to cost us 20,000 to sell it for the realtor commission and closing costs, meaning the break, puts us at 200, right? So what did we just figure out, everybody? We just learned that if this house was purchased for $200,000, I fixed it up and I flipped it, I would make $0 because 200,000 is my break even. So actually, based on the math I just did, if we bought it for 179 at the list price, we would have an estimated profit of 21,000. So trying to pick up this house at 150, probably a really good buy. So why don't we call this agent?
Okay. Let's see here. So this is
Bainwell, the one in Azusa, they're reviewing offers now.
okay. So we actually have the contact info for this one here, or we've got at least the name. So let's go ahead and just do a quick search. This is Gene Mabry.
Sorry, someone made a comment that they don't understand how we're able to make these these rehab calculations without knowing rehab costs. I know rehab costs because I flipped close to 1,000 houses. I can tell you a house in Anaheim, California, that's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,200 square feet, full remodel with ACs, and it cost me 140,000, right? It might cost me 125, it might cost me 155, but I'm close enough. So actually within the homeschool program, we teach you how to use what's called the construction cost estimator. So we teach you how to estimate how much are the windows, how much is the flooring, how much is the kitchen, how much is the counters. So you would build that so you would know how much you think it's going to cost to do it. And then that's when you start learning. So you go into a property, you think it's going to cost 80, you get the seller to sign the contract. It turns out, well, it's going to cost 250,000 to fix. Well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to cancel the deal and walk away. I have nothing to lose. I'm the buyer. I made a mistake. It happens.
Absolutely. And as long as you're abiding by the dates and deadlines and the contingencies in the contract, you don't lose anything, right? It's just time. Okay, so I'm having a little trouble finding this person. I'm just getting office numbers.
Yeah, and we really want to help as many of you as humanly possible. So if you haven't booked your strategy session, they're free. You should definitely check them out. And Coach Jeff put a link in the chat box earlier.
Do you want to try the office, or is that even worth it?
That probably won't work.
Okay.
We try.
How about this?
I'll try
it. You want to try it? Okay.
I'm willing to. The key to success is trying. That's it. You got to try everything. That's it. What do we have? What's that number? 1520 419.
6335.
Okay. Could you pull up the address again real quick and the name Gene?
Hello, this is Jean.
Hey, Gene, this is Tarek El Moussa. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you? What can I do for you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm a real estate investor, and I was calling about your property on Baker Drive. I was wondering if that was still available.
Well, I have an offer and one coming, but I haven't accepted anything yet.
Got it. So you do have an offer in hand, and you're expecting one on the way? Okay, perfect. And then can you tell me a little bit about the house? Are there any major issues like foundation, roofing, electrical?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just trashed.
Oh.
It's Yeah, it needs a new roof, it needs some new fascia, needs new bathrooms, it needs new flooring, it needs paint.
So it
Um,
needs everything.
What?
It needs a little bit of everything.
Yes, it's one of those lovely houses. And the only thing is the air conditioner is only about, the HVAC is about 8 years old, so that's good.
Okay, well, that is good. So that'll save some money. And then I was looking at some of the comps in the area, and let me ask you, obviously you're a real estate agent and you know the market. If this house was remodeled, fixed up nicely, I mean, what do you think it would probably sell for?
Well, I just was talking to my partner about that. I've had a couple investors tell me 350. The market's real. You're in Newport Beach, right?
Yes, I am. Did my phone say that?
How did I know? I know everything. Yes, it did.
Have you seen my shows by any chance on HGTV?
No,
Have you heard of a show called Flip or Flop?
no, I should watch it. Flipper fall, flipper
Uh,
flat.
Flip or Flop.
Oh, flipper flat.
No, Flip or Flop. It's a house flipping show on HGTV. I've been doing it for about 10 years.
What's the flat?
Oh, Flop, FLOP.
Oh, FLOT. What's that?
Oh,
word?
Flop, FLOP, like paw. So you're either gonna flip a,
P. I thought you were saying T.
yeah, so you're gonna flip it and make a profit, or flop and not make a profit. So, I've been in the business for 10 years. I've done about 800 houses. So I'm definitely interested in this house. I mean, do you think it's even worth the time to write maybe a cash offer at 150?
Well, I've got both offers are full price, but I'm going to tell you something. And I'm just always upfront with everybody. Neither one of those people have seen it.
Yeah.
So I don't sell houses that people don't see unless you're like out of town.
Right. And what's happening right now is a lot of investors, they're locking up prices or houses at higher prices. And then once they get the contract, they're trying to beat the seller down. And I just like to be very transparent going into the deal.
Sure, because I won't let them beat my seller down. I'll just put it back on the market.
Okay,
Here's
perfect.
the thing. I wanted to put it on the market at 150 and my seller would not hear of it. And this is the 5th time I have sold this house.
Okay, so this isn't your first rodeo.
Oh no, I'm 43 years in this business. No, I've been in the business forever in Tucson, and I've sold this house. This is the 5th time. So I don't know why that is. It just is. It's the way it is.
Well, we might need to make it 7 times because you need to sell me the house so then you can sell it for me again.
I would love to do that. You know what I think? I think that just about any house that is fixed up and really nice will bring a nice price. Nothing like in the spring. You and I both know that that's gone. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
This neighborhood is real shaky. And it used to be better than it is now. Now, excuse me, I lost my voice for a moment. So it's a real iffy neighborhood now. Some houses are nice and some are just shit. Can
Yeah.
I say that to you?
Yeah, sure.
So like there's one across the street, kind of catty corner on the next street over, that it's just the people that are there. But it's a really great location.
Got it. Yeah, it seems like properties are definitely moving in the area. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of research tonight. And I'll have a team member most likely reach out tomorrow and see if we can get a cash offer going. And I understand you have a higher offers, but in today's environment, I think there's about a 80% chance they're gonna back out. And I would love to be the one to close the deal and get this thing sold for you.
You know what? We want to just cash out and close quickly. And if you would, I am in class all day tomorrow. I still have things I have to study. No, I have a little project I do on Wednesdays. Would you contact my partner? His name is Chris Mabry.
Sure. 1 second here. Let me write a note. Okay.
And it's 520-991.
I'm sorry.
It's on the listing.
I'm sorry.
How'd you see the multiple listing? Oh, you went to.
Yeah. I'm on a software called Privy right now. It's pretty neat. You should check it out.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So Chris's number was 520.
7806.
7806.
Just reach out to him, tell him you talked to me, you can text him, whatever, just tell him you talked to me and that you're going to do some research and you'll be getting back to him maybe tomorrow. And I'll be free after 4.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Okay.
we'll touch base tomorrow. Thank you so much.
All right, kiddo, thank you for calling me. I do really appreciate it.
All right, you have a great night.
I sell beautiful houses. That's sometimes I do.
Yeah, you know what? It's the luck of the draw. We sell them all and we buy them all.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Take care.
Have a great night. Well, guess what? She answered the phone. Okay, so what did we learn here? Never assume. We assumed that it was an office line. I wasn't going to call. It forwarded to the agent's cell phone number. But you guys see what I just did there? Was that rocket science? I asked questions, I shut my mouth, and I let the real estate agent talk. Like, think about how much information we just, could you guys hear me, by the way? Could you hear us?
Oh, great.
Like, we got all the information we need about this property. So that, and guess what? These investors that wrote these full price offers, there's a very high chance they're going to back out. So while they're wasting the agent's time, we're going to be behind the scenes. We're like, hey, we want to buy this thing. We want to buy this thing. Here's the cash. We want to buy it. So eventually there's a very good chance the agent and the seller get frustrated. And my cash offer at 150, it's starting to look pretty good. So this is it, man. It's just about doing. We literally picked up the phone, Googled the name, called the person. We got all the information and we have a potential deal.
Well, Tarek, like you always say, we're in the people business. You got to talk to people. You talk to them over the phone, you text. She told us so much info, even like, how about it? You were at that price. You said it before the call. Probably around 150, right where she was going to list it originally. You know what I'm saying? And then she kept sharing so much, and great call. It was awesome. You couldn't have teed that up any better.
Okay. All
Our
right.
plan worked, Tarek. Our plan worked out perfectly. She was there waiting for the phone, just waiting for your call, picked up. Oh, I've never heard of Flipper Flot.
Flipper Flop. Oh, no. I guarantee there's 100% chance she knows the show and she's going to go Google it. She's going to go, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, and then she's going to go and give you the house because she's like, oh, I sold a house to Tarek, right? So that's some negotiating power right there. So you guys, you can see how simple this is, right? We're not going to get every house that we found. I found this last one, and I want to get into some Q&A real quick, so that we can let you guys go. It's getting late, especially for our folks on the East Coast. But here's another one, right? Just so we get another deal for you guys to look at. But I'm gonna teach you guys more. We've got some more training and stuff coming up where I'll show you exactly how to do this process that we just did, because we're kind of like bang, bang, bang. But this is how simple it can be. It really is as simple as just playing a video game. You're just scrolling through pictures and looking at numbers and clicking buttons. And it's almost like, you remember the back in the day when you had your Sega Genesis and you go A, B, B, up, down, right, and then some fire shoots out of your hand. Like, that's what you can do with Privy, right? It absolutely will help you execute and find amazing deals, analyze them quickly, and give you all the confidence to go and just pick up a phone and start calling agents and writing offers, getting properties under contract. Now, if Tarek gets that thing, he probably won't flip it, right? He'll probably wholesale it because he's not in Tucson. So maybe throw on $5,000 or $10,000 and turn it around to somebody else who lives in that area. And we know who all those people are, right? On these properties here, wherever we see this before and after, these are all potential buyers. Every one of these people are. So we'll help you connect the dots. So let me start to wrap this up here, and then we'll get you guys out of here. We did put together a package here, so if you do want to get on board.
I'm so sorry, Benson. I'm going to do something a little crazy here. I'm going to do this because it is Giving Tuesday. Someone put that in the chat. Thank you, by the way. So if we lock up this property tomorrow and we wholesale it, whoever signs up for a mentorship call tonight, if we get it, I'm going to split the wholesale fee with them. So if we get this deal, and if you booked a call tonight, let's just say 30 people booked the call tonight, you have a 1 in 30 chance of splitting the profit on that deal. So don't miss out. Make sure you book your call. Okay, Benson, I'll let you take it. It's Giving Tuesday. I had to do it.
Well, that's like over Giving Tuesday, which I'm a big fan of as well. I love it. That's so cool. Well, let me wrap this up on the Privy side, you guys. If you haven't booked your call, go do it. It's an absolute no-brainer. You get to work with one of the best in the business, and there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't take those 20 years of experience and add that to your resume. And when you're out doing business, you can say, hey, well, my business partner, Tarek, right? they're going to ask you like, well, who do you work with? Like, well, yeah, I work with, who's on my team,
Yeah,
right? You got an amazing
100%.
team to work with.
Benson, and listen, so as all my students know, like if they want to partner on a deal with Tarek, I'm in. Let's partner. You want to wholesale a deal with me, you want to flip a deal with me, I'm in. And if you're not part of our homeschool community, you know, once you join, if you're talking to people out there on the streets, I'm your business partner. I'm your partner. So if they want to know who you're working with Tarek El Moussa from HGTV. And we're
Yep.
gonna get deals.
Oh yeah, that's so awesome. So you guys, what we showed you tonight was a systematic approach for finding the best areas to invest in, learning that market in next to no time. That time period of learning a market, sometimes it takes people years to do, and now we can do it in literal minutes. Also, being able to go in and find out who the players are, who are the fix and flippers in the area, who are the buyers, who are the agents that are active. You can get all those people into your ecosystem, start to build relationships with them, build your buyers list, and then take all that information that you learned and go and start looking for deals like the ones that we found tonight, making some calls, finding some of these properties, getting some under contract, and then starting the process of going out and marketing those things to those let lists where those people have a high chance, likelihood of giving you an assignment fee for those properties that you used our system to go find in the first place. So it's this whole systematic approach. We're going to save you tons of time. It's something you can do in your part-time, but we've got lots of people who use Privy to do this full-time and are having tons of success doing it. So let's go ahead and look at the next thing here. So no matter what your strategy is, we did talk about wholesale a lot tonight, you guys, but if you're doing your own flips, that's totally okay. Now you don't have to pay a wholesaler to go find these properties for you. If you're building a portfolio of rental properties, well, we're going to show you how to find those properties at a discount, because what do they say? You don't make money when you sell a property, you make money when you buy it. And if you're buying at a discount, you're way ahead of the curve. And at this market too, that's shifting, it's always great to have a buffer in case there's a downturn in the market. Or if you're using an approach where you get these properties and you do a little bit of work to them, now you can actually pull some of that money out of those properties and do another project and do another one. So regardless of your strategy, we'll help you find these properties that you can take action on. If you've never done a deal, we'll help you do your first deal. If you are experienced, and like Tarek's team is actually using our tool. Of course, they know how to find deals, but they're looking for more effective and efficient ways of leveraging data and automation in their business, because guess what? They make more money that way, right? It's all part of a good business model. So just want to show you a couple people that actually are using this system. This is Anthony Akers. He's actually out of the Chicago market. He's a construction worker, and he actually had really good marketing, finding leads coming inbound. But guess what? He couldn't answer the phone because he was out in the field all the time, and he just felt his leg vibrating, knowing that all of his marketing dollars are going down the tube. So I told him, like, listen, man, you should just start doing some deals from the MLS. And he's like, you can't wholesale on market stuff. And I'm like, you want to bet? And now he's closed several deals using our system, and he uses Privy now to help him find his deals, analyze his properties. This is Christian. Christian is actually an investor and an agent. But guess what? This guy has actually closed over 350 deals that he found on Privy by doing the exact same thing I just showed you. Now, he's been around for a while. He's got some experience. But you guys, this is what's possible if you just leverage the data and the systematic approach like I showed you tonight. You can turn it into a literal machine where it's just pumping out deals and you're just going deals over and over and over again. He's doing really well in his market, and this was possible if you leverage the same approach. This is Michelle Garbito. She's actually one of Jamil Damji's students. So she actually learned from one of the best wholesalers in the business, which, by the way, if you're not part of Homeschooled yet, there's going to be modules that Jamil teaches. Right, Tarek?
Yeah. So Jamil Damji, I'm sure you guys are aware of who he is. So we actually did some wholesaling training together, and that's currently being added, if it's not already added, to our student center. So like I promised all of you a couple months ago, my #1 priority is to bring the most value to you guys possible, because I need you to succeed. I want you to succeed. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. I really do. So we're going to do whatever it takes to help you find success if that's what you want.
Yep. And Michelle texted me a few months back now, and she's like, Benson, I got my highest assignment fee ever. And this is a person who's done millions of dollars in business doing wholesale and all on market, by the way. And her coach and mentor was Jamil Damji. So you're going to learn a lot of that same stuff from Jamil in these modules that Tarek's implementing into Homeschooled. It's going to be there for you. But she found a property on Privy in Colorado, which was finding it hard to find properties there. And she found it $30,000 assignment fee. It can absolutely be done. So you're probably thinking, well, this thing must cost like a ton of money, right? It doesn't. It's actually very, very inexpensive for what it delivers.
And there's a special offer for everyone on tonight, right, Benson?
Yep. If you're here tonight, we're going to give you a special promo code. And because of Giving Tuesday, we got some extra bonuses and stuff for you too. So Privy normally for the full year of access is $1,164 for the year. Right, everything I just showed you, we showed you several properties that have potential assignment fees there of several $1,000s. You can see here, if you just did one deal, it would easily pay for this right here over a year, right? Fairly simply. Now, I did throw in some bonuses. So one of the things that we're doing, we've been having some great success launching new markets, getting new people in. And so we're getting a lot of new initiatives. And one of the initiatives that our team is taking very soon is we're going to alter our pricing structure. So we're going to move away from just giving you access to the whole entire country for one price. And we're going to be breaking it out where you get one market for this price, 3 markets for a certain price, and then the whole US for another price. But for a limited time, if you decide to get on Privy, we're going to grandfather you in at the price I'm going to show you tonight, where you're going to get free feature upgrades, new MLS markets for free, and grandfathered pricing. I'm going to give you all of that for free. The next thing is support. So I am really hands-on with all of our people to a fault. My business partner tells me all the time that I'm spending way too much time with people, but I think it's crucially important that we don't just give you a piece of software and then disappear into the night. Like, you need support. And so I do a mastermind session twice per week. So I'm going to get you exclusive access to our mastermind training where I answer your questions live. I talk to you, I hold your hand, I answer your questions. There's actually, you can call in and you can talk to people. As much as we're a technology company, we're also a real estate company. And that's a business where you used to be able to shake hands and meet people in a coffee shop. And we want to try to maintain some of that personal connection with people. So with this VIP onboarding and 360-degree support program, you're going to maintain that and get all the support you need. Okay. The next thing is what we were talking about earlier, buyers, right? Well, buyers you can find from Privy. However, I want to get you started, right? So I've been building a buyers list for over the last 8 years. It's got over 5,000 people on it nationwide. It's all broken out by state. It's already pre-skip trace. It has phone numbers, emails, names on it. I'm going to give you guys that for free. For free. This by itself is worth several $1,000s. I guarantee it is. But I'm not going to give you any excuses to not take action. You're going to use this, and all you got to do is just find those properties, match them up with the buyers that are on this list, and then start to build your own buyers list on top of it based off of the current data that's available. I'm going to give you that for free too. I'm also going to give you my 30-day training course. Okay, so when I started doing deals in the St. Louis market, I had to basically help to build a whole process of how to do it. So I documented every step that I took over a 30-day time period and build a course out of it. So I'm going to give you that course for free, and the weekly coaching calls that we do over the next 52 weeks. So you're going to get on those coaching calls. We're going to talk business. We're going to talk strategy. We actually had our coaching call today, and boy, we got into the weeds. We got deep into the weeds today. I think we had close to 100 people on it. And we're going to give you all of that for free. I can typically sell that for a lot more than what we're doing. I just want to make sure you guys have everything you need to be able to take action and start doing deals. Okay. All right, so just an example of some of the modules. Cool. So what does that break down to? So you're going to get the full year of Privy access. You're going to get the Privy Master membership with the grandfather pricing and the mastermind access, the support package, the course and the coaching bundle with the calls. That's actually a $4,862 value. And I'm going to give it all to you for $814. So if you were to actually think about that over a year, what it would cost if you paid monthly, you'd be like paying $67 a month. $814, ridiculously low.
Yeah. Like, yeah, like guys, we're not trying to sell you, some $20,000 widget here. Like, this is a software that we just showed you how to work it. And we already got a potential deal out of it. We're using it. We're having success with it. And listen, like, you guys can do this, and it's just all about getting started, right? And as you start moving, right? As you start practicing, you start researching, you start reading, you're just going to get better and better and better, because whether you like it or not, your brain learns. So if this is something you want to do, like this is just an amazing opportunity for you.
Yep. And we guarantee it, you guys too. Like, I guarantee this is going to work for you. And if it doesn't work for you, then let us know why you think that is, and maybe we can fix it. But if not, we just return your money. That's a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's absolutely no risk to do it. Now, some of the other things that I think would even give you more reason to do it is we've got some other lists that will be very beneficial to you. So some of the buyers, the biggest buyers that are out there, are called hedge funds, right? On that other list that I have, those are mostly like small time people who are just doing, a handful of properties per year. Well, hedge funds are buying thousands of properties per year. So we built a hedge fund list. It's got over 400 hedge funds on it nationwide. I'm going to give you that for free too, if that other price wasn't already good enough. And for some of your projects, earlier, Tarek mentioned that when he first started, he had to go out and raise money to do his deals. Well, he raised that money from what are called private money lenders. We've also built a list of national private money lenders who have pockets full of cash that they just need to give out and get a return on. And so we give you a list of those people too. So this is all going to be together in that same package, $814 for all of it. All right. So here's the promo code. It's Tarek2022. You're going to have a little bit of time to do it, right? You're going to get 2 days to think it over, talk to your significant other, talk to your business partner. I'm not sure if you guys already put the links. Did you put the links in the chat, Jeff?
Yeah, he put them there. And Jeff, if you can put it again, and check this out, homeschooled students, if you guys are signing up for this, go out there, start looking for deals, because don't forget, every Thursday night we have the live deal review. So if there's deals that you guys find, we're going to review them with you for free.
Oh yeah, so you guys will review these in the training.
Oh yeah. So we have a lot of trainings now. So every Thursday, the team at Tarek Buys Houses hops on with all the students, and we review the deals to make sure that we like them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's a safety net. We don't want someone out there buying bad deals. So we have to make sure we take a good look at it.
Awesome. Well, there is some excited people in the chat. I'm seeing happy sunglass faced house or faces. I'm seeing a lot of excitement. As you can see here, you guys, this is not like a normal thing that you've probably ever been to, because we have the data and because we can actually find these things live. Like, I believe there's probably one of those deals, even outside of the one that Tarek called on, will make somebody here money. You just have to take action. So go out there, take action. If you do the things that we showed you tonight, it will work for you. It may not work the first time, second time, but it's going to work, right? So we're going to be there along the way to support you all along the way. And if you get into homeschooled, they're going to review those deals with you. Like, what else do you need, right? It's all there for you.
Yeah, 100%. So this has just been phenomenal, Benson. I'm so glad you were able to come on tonight and share with the students. By the way, I've been looking at everybody's pictures, and everybody's eyes were glued to the screen, which means they're as excited as I am. And I mean, tonight was a lot of fun. You guys saw me pick up a phone, call a stranger, had a great conversation. We got a great lead, potentially a deal. I got to call the partner tomorrow. And then for one of you, if I get that deal, we're going to split that deal. So this is it. And this is fun. This is supposed to be fun. And that's another thing. Life is stressful enough, right? So our community is about having fun. It's about growing. It's about getting better. It's about inspiring. It's about teaching. And it's just really about helping each other. So for non-homeschooled students, we're so happy that you joined us tonight. Homeschooled students, always happy to see you. And I'll see you guys on tomorrow night's training. But it is getting a little bit late. So do you think we should wrap it up with some Q&A for maybe 5 minutes? What do you guys think? Or are you guys ready to get off and go find some houses?
I bet you there's somebody that's going to be on there tonight, finding deals and writing offers tomorrow. But
I would, like, I'm telling you, if I wasn't who I was and I was at home right now on this webinar, I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. All night I'd be like trying to find deals, sending emails. Realtors would be getting emails from me at 2 a.m. thinking I'm crazy.
I'm looking at the chat here to see if there's any questions that pop up, you guys. What makes this software better than others? Benny, that's a hard question to answer. Well, one thing, you probably never saw another software do this, Benny. I mean, I would bet
Well, yeah, that's
$1,000.
There's no other company that does what Privy does, at least that I'm aware of. So that's why it's so unique, and that's why I'm so excited about this. It's just so brilliant that you guys were able to build this software. It's like, it's not my wheelhouse at all. I'm not a tech person, and it's just incredible. It's very incredible.
Well,
Yeah,
again, Mark, I want to add something to that, because Benson, just like us, is an investor first that filled the needs and the holes. When you pound the payment and do real estate investing the conventional old school way, that's how he came up with this incredible cutting edge technology. So you can, again, bridge those gaps and do more deals, make more offers is the bottom line. I'm just, again, wowed. Every time I see Privy demonstration, I'm just like, oh, where were you 20 years ago? And it's just like, and then the first price I heard, when I caught wind of Privy was just this quarter. And it was a lot more than what you're offering tonight. It just keeps getting better and better with more bonuses and less costs. I wrote in the chat box, it's also a tax write-off. Double check with your tax account and all that stuff. It's a no-brainer,
It is, absolutely. Let's see here. Leyland has a question. Leyland, what's your question?
Hi, thank you. If I will sign up for the Privy, which one I'll gonna choose, the investor or, because there's two choices. Hold on, please.
Yeah, if you're actually a licensed agent, then you can. If you're a licensed agent, then you can get the agent version of Privy. It just gives you a little bit more information. You get to see like the private remarks, which is something that only agents can see.
Yeah, so get that one if you are an agent. If anyone's an agent, get that one.
Yep, and it doesn't cost anymore, right? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Emily.
Come on off of mute, Emily. There, yep, there you go.
Thanks, Coach Jeff. You think I would be MED would like have this down by now, but she doesn't. Benson, how are you? Thanks again. I mean, every time I'm on this, it's just more and more. I won't take up much time. I had sent you an email, but I have a feeling it ended up in your spam folder. I was looking, I'm down in Atlantic County and we have a system called Paragon. And I noticed in our area of New Jersey, we have Paragon, but everybody else has Bright. I don't know why we're so different, but unfortunately we are. Can I still use it? I mean, because I don't see that you have it listed for Paragon users for Atlantic County, New Jersey. How does that work for me, or am I just like SOL?
You're not SOL, you just won't have the direct to MLS. So we don't get to use your MLS in our system. We have to go direct to Paragon for that MLS when we launch it. Now we don't have it currently. Now we saw we got Bright. We're adding more MLSs all the time. We're going to be in all the major cities, second tier cities and third tier cities eventually. Currently it's over 60 different direct to MLS markets. Now we do have third party MLS there. It's not as up to date. It doesn't include photos. You won't be able to see agent contact info, but you can still execute the same strategy I showed you tonight. But we also have all of the off market stuff. So if you're looking for like listings, you can target like absentee owners or vacancies and you can operate there. It's just a little bit different of an experience when you are working on these third party areas. But honestly, that's what the rest of our competitors have. They all have third party, because that's where the bar has been set. We're the only company that's actually going above and beyond and getting these direct to MLS data contracts, which is a game changer. And I'm hope that we have that for you someday, but you can find deals in other markets, right?
No, and that's
Atlantic
fine.
City,
If
New
I jump
Jersey.
on, will I get like I'll get a coaching thing and maybe I'll deal with that one-on-one with you. I don't want to take too much time on this. So just jump on and I'll still be covered. Is
Yeah,
that what
just
I'm
jump
hearing?
on and I'll show you how to find deals in Baltimore or Philly or
Listen,
LA.
I'm from Philly, so we can do Philly too.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Do it
Benson.
all.
I'll be on. That's right, Tarek. I got this. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
and then
Thank
go
you.
get them on your own. Bring them to Thursday. Let's look at these things.
Yeah, that's fun. I love doing that. That is awesome, Tarek. Everything you got, like every day of my week, I'm with you. Like, it's just
I know.
awesome.
Are you sick of me yet? You see me Tuesday, you see me Wednesday, you see me
I tell
Thursday,
you.
you see me on the TV.
And boot camp is wonderful, guys. This is just a bomb. There's nothing out there like this. You'll say, thank you.
You know
Thank
what, real
you.
quick, we're going to take another question or two. I see the hand raises. Benson, one is so we can go into gallery mode. If we could stop sharing screen, that would be helpful. I know the code's there. I put it in the chat like 5 times, both the privy code and special offer. And also if someone's interested in homeschool and learning more about that, having a strategy session, we have a team that answers all those questions for you. And we have a lot of students here tonight that someone's asking, how is this different? Or is this a scam? All I'll say is I've been with Tarek for over almost 2 years now. I've done close to 1,000 coaching calls with our students from California to New York and everywhere in between. We got Coach Cheryl, we got Coach Lisa, we've got 7 other world-class coaches across the country that all have multiple deals or portfolios under their belt, hundreds of years of experience in real estate. But the key with this here is the culture. The community is second to none. We've just got done with our live event, our fall big event at the beginning of this month in Southern California. We did 2 other more smaller events as the COVID, was able to have us get together live. And we got a lot more planned in the 2023 as far as live. And I know we love virtual and it's convenient, but there's nothing to replace live in that synergy. It's amazing, the culture. And so I'm going to, let people come off the mute here and have their questions. And we always do these 90-minute webinars. We go a little longer because we love to over deliver is the other thing. I know it's later on the East Coast and I respect everybody's time and attention. So I'm going to quiet up and let other people ask their questions, Benson. But again, thank you so much. I just am really appreciative of what you created, what you're offering, and just making the life and the, day in, day out, like tactics and duties that we do as investors just much easier and efficient. My gosh, if I see a lot of people that recognize the value, that tells me they got some background in real estate because they can see what this will do and deliver for your, again, business. All right, so Tyson, you're up first, and then Don, and then Alexander with some questions, and then Melanie and Tracy. So I've got 5 questions. Let's do rapid fire just to respect time. You're up, Tyson. What do you got?
Yeah, because my wife's already texting me. You said you were going to be done at 6:30, so I'm already in trouble. And you don't want to mess with a pregnant wife.
That's right, Tarek. All right, for sure. Go ahead, Tyson.
All right, Benson, thank you for your presentation. I really like that. You know what? I'm excited. You got me excited because you jumped into the Tucson market. I'm actually in the Tucson market. So if I sign up tonight, I could get into the action right now, right after I sign up immediately, or
It's
do I gotta-
immediate. Yeah, you get your
or do I-
access as soon as you sign up. It's almost immediate, like 5 seconds. I don't know if that's fast enough, but it should be.
without
Yeah.
the coaching calls and everything that you're.
Oh yeah, the coaching calls, that'll start. So next coaching call is next Friday, but the next privy training is Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you can dive right in, watch. There's a few videos you watch, call them onboarding videos. That'll get you in there, get you going, and then you can start asking questions live on Thursday.
Yeah, this software will help me out because I'm doing this part-time, and this will save me a lot of time, and I'm excited. And thanks for showing us, how you did the presentation as far as Googling the search.
You're welcome, Tyson. Thanks for the good feedback, man. I'm looking forward to working with you.
All right.
I just want to remind everybody, we Googled a real estate agent's name, an office line showed up. We weren't going to call. We said, wait, let's try it. We got to try it. They answered. We had a great conversation. We might be getting a deal. Now imagine, let me ask all of you this. That one phone call I had, do you or do you not think I would get a bunch of deals if I did that 1,000 times? Think about that. Is there any reason why you think you can't do what I did on that phone call? Because all I did was ask questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, so I've been in sales a long time, so I know the questions to ask, and I have the big smile. But when I first started, I had my script taped to the wall, and I was reading. And guess what? over time, more practice, guess what happens? That thing we have up here called your brain, it absorbs things. And next thing you know, you don't even need a script anymore and you're just talking. So again, you guys can do this.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of practice and some data, right? Some data. And then with the help of the coaching program there, you can absolutely do this. Melanie, what's your question?
Hi,
Donald, you're up next.
it's nice to see you, Benson. I'm also with Justin Colby's program, The Science of Flipping.
Cool.
So, you know him, right?
I do. Yeah. Justin's a great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he is. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to find out, like, with the 5,000 buyers list, the 5,000 people buyers list, because I'm
Mhm.
already obviously using Privy. I use it all the time. In fact, I closed my first wholesale deal back in July, and I love Privy. I use
Oh,
it
awesome.
constantly. It's like my go-to. And I'm exactly like you said, I used to get on the computer and play it like a video game. It's awesome. It's amazing. But like, how can I get that? Because if I'm already on Privy, how can I get that extra buyers list? Because that would be invaluable to me.
Yeah, if you're on the annual plan, I'll give it to you. If you're not and you want to upgrade, just use the
Yeah.
promo code and we'll get you that buyer's list.
Okay, so I'm already on the annual plan.
Okay. Will you just do me a favor and email my team?
Okay.
It's just success@teamprivy.com, and just let them know that Benson said that I would send the buyer's list to you.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that then. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Can I ask one thing from you though?
Sure.
Will you give me a testimonial?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I would love to do that.
Awesome. I think that's a fair trade.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Nice to meet you, Melanie.
Nice to
We'll
meet
reach out,
you.
okay?
Joining us
Okay.
tonight.
Thank you, Tarek. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Also, just because our community, I want everyone to put a boom in the chat box because Melanie got her deal. And yeah, let's congratulate that. We like to celebrate wins here at
Well, thank
Homeschool.
y'all.
For sure.
Thank y'all.
All right, Don, you got your question, your hand raised. Come on off of mute. What is it, my friend?
Thanks, guys. Great program. Love it. Hey, Tarek, Benson, earlier you guys mentioned about states where you have to be a licensed agent. So I Googled Ohio, and based on what it says in Ohio, it says you have to be an agent. So one, the difference between being an agent and someone that does us as an assignee, is that okay in Ohio? And do you guys know for certain which states you have to absolutely be an agent in?
I'm sorry, the question was a little long and my brain didn't absorb all of it. Sorry.
So for Ohio, do you have to be an agent, right? And what's the difference between being an agent and someone that is an assignee? And which states does that work for? Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have to do the research. So if you've gone on the internet and it's saying Ohio, you have to have a license in order to wholesale, there's one of two things you need to do. One, start getting your real estate license. Or two, go find a real estate agent and cut them in on a small piece of every deal.
Okay,
Just
got
for
it.
doing the paperwork and putting it together, but you're still making the calls, you're just doing all the work.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Donald. All right, this list is growing, right? The line's growing. So no more new people after Yvonne, okay?
All right, yeah, Alexander Riley. And I also want to mention, I'm going to put another post in there as far as the link. I see the questions still coming, so I'll reassure that before we wrap up tonight.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Got you, sir.
All right, so well, one of my questions were already answered about already having the Privy program, because I've been had the program for the past few months now. So my next question is, because what I have found difficult is to find off-market deals and difficult to get on-market deals. But I watched some of Benson's videos on how to do the on-market. Just talking to real estate agents is to me a little challenging. But off-market deals, how do you go about finding those?
I mean,
On Privy.
Yeah. So you should definitely book a free mentorship call. But off market deals, and there's two ways to get off market deals. One, you have money. Two, you have no money. If you have money, you're going to do marketing. That's going to be print marketing, digital marketing. It could be podcasts. I mean, it could be anything, but that's paid. Most people when they're starting, they don't have money. So to get off market deals, you got to make phone calls, you got to send text messages, you got to knock on doors, and you got to network. And those are all the different things that we teach in the homeschool program.
Right. No, I understand. I'm talking about how to find off market deals on the Privy software. That was basically my
Oh, for
question.
Privy. I believe. Go ahead, Benson.
Yeah, we've got some really good training in there. If you go into the Learning Center and just go into the search and type in off, it'll show you probably like 4 or 5 videos where I walk you through exactly how to find off market. But it's in the filter. Basically, it's just instead of choosing active, you choose sold, and that'll look for off market properties. And then you can use other filters from there, like foreclosures or absentee owners or vacancies. Okay, so just do a quick search there, or come to the training on Thursday, and I'm happy to show you how to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I want
guys.
to add that in real quick, everybody, because Benson, you are just like make this incredible offer, all this access, and then the support. Your own team's telling you you're over delivering, and then also when you do enroll, you're going to get on the email list for when the trainings are or bonus information or that. I'm just like, wow, I get an email once a day, and it's just like, I'm a little busy with calls and coaching and planning our events and webinar. But man, I'm just like, oh, I got to allocate time in December and January for my Privy activities. And, I do private money lending and investing and flipping too. So I'm as excited as all the students. You're bringing a whole new fresh energy in for the coaches, Benson.
Amazing. Well, that feels good that I'm over delivering. That's what we try to do here.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Tracy, yeah, let's get back into our Q&A rapid fire here tonight.
All right, I think this is gonna have to be our last one, I think. 'Cause
Hello.
Last question, Tracy.
I'm really in trouble now.
Well, I just want to say thanks everyone for your time. This is a great session. So a little background. I actually bought my dad's parents' house. He died of cancer, so I bought it from my mom. It was willed to her. So the renovation took a lot of my money, but I'm looking into well, this session opened my eyes to wholesale. I've heard of it before. My question is, how do I get financing? I actually have a IT job, so I get paid pretty good. But now I don't have any cash.
Yeah, so financing. So I would suggest you book your free mentorship call, because within our program, we have multiple preferred lenders that we work with that have special options for newer flippers. And they can really help you through that process. And if you have like no money, which is totally fine. When I started, I had negative money. I was the other way, like worse than zero. It's fine too, So yeah, and if you don't have any money at all and it's negative money, then that's where you start off wholesaling, and then you build your capital wholesaling, and then you go and fix and flip. And here's something everybody needs to understand. You're never going to be wealthy wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling real estate is an ends to a mean. The reason I want you guys to start wholesaling houses is so you can make that money. So in 2024, when this market's really bottoming out, that's when I'm gonna be on these webinars screaming, buy rentals, buy and wait. So right now is the time to build your capital. So when the time comes, you can strike, you can deploy it, you can buy assets, and then let that wave go up for the next cycle.
Yep. Absolutely. So you guys, we want to be respectful of Tarek's time and the family. And so I put my contact info in the chat. So there's my email address. There's our phone number. You might get a team member. I still would love to answer everyone's questions, but we want to let everybody get back to life here tonight.
Well, how about this, Benson? Because I have to go, but if you guys are okay staying on a few more minutes, or Jeff wants to stay on.
Oh yeah.
If the students want to stay on, we're good with that. So I'm going to go eat dinner now before I get in big old trouble. But I had a great time tonight. Students, so excited. Got to see you guys again. And I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you Thursday. Non-students, so excited for you. This might be the first step in your real estate journey. And it's just the most amazing business in the world. So stop thinking, start doing. Let's just go. Let's make this happen. Let's have some fun. Let's change our lives. And I will see you guys in a couple days.
Everybody put a big thank you, Tarek.
Bye,
'cause,
Tarek.
yeah, I appreciate you and your energy and all your
Yeah.
knowledge and access to, again, people like Benson. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Benson and I are going to hang out for 2 more questions here because I feel like, again, Yvonne and Alicia have been patiently waiting. And so we'll do those 2 more and then we'll sign off. So Alicia, come on off of mute. What's your question? Hello? Is she there?
Come on, Alicia. There you go. I think I had to click the button.
Did it work? It said that the host was not allowing participant to unmute, so I'm not sure what happened there. I'm in Canada and I posted the question, but I wasn't sure if it got seen. I was just curious, is this service going to be coming to Canada in the future? Is that something that Privy is looking into? Just because I'm getting my real estate license, I'll actually be taking my final exam next week. And this is
Exciting.
really, really cool. And I feel like it would be a really, really great thing to have here, but I know the market's completely different and you're probably not familiar. I'm just curious if it's something that it would be considered to come here.
We're open to it for sure. We still have many markets that we need to launch here in the States before we probably go and do it in Canada. We don't know a whole lot about how they manage the data there and normalize it and make it so we can go from, Quebec to Toronto to Saskatchewan and still make it work everywhere. So we'll do some research. It probably won't be within the next 12 months, but, jump on board. You can help us do some deals in the US. We got lots of people who are outside the country who do deals in the US remotely and virtually. And then let's stay in contact. And if we do decide to do that, maybe we can work together.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, great. I'm glad she came off because I did see that in the chat box, the Canada question. Appreciate that. And again, congrats on the real estate license. And yeah, we'll stay in contact. All right, Yvonne, last but not least, what's your question? Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I have only just 2 questions. Hi, Benson. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your explanation. I want to know if I just subscribe for Privy. I'm really proud of that. And I want to know if I make a deal and I buy a house with a buyer, do I have every forms and contract fill in this Privy, or how can I make this? Because I need something to write Yvonne, Gabriel, and Sunny, like Tarek told us. You know what I mean?
We do. We got a lot of what you need. So
Okay.
we just started I don't want to get into this too much tonight, but if you come on board,
Yeah, I am.
we just launched a 30-day challenge where we're going to give you all the contracts you need, all of the training. We've got lots of recorded training over this next 30 days. We created basically a game. We're going to be awarding points for every action you take in the business, like writing an offer, getting a property under contract, closing a deal. And we're going to have cash prizes for people who are participating in this over the next 30 days. And we're going to wait t-shirts and swag and free months of Privy. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. But most importantly, we built a framework where you guys can actually feel comfortable taking action and being part of a community where everyone else is doing the same sort of thing. So we give you everything that you need to do that. All you have to do is be a Privy user.
Okay, wonderful. And the second question is, Tarek told us in the last hour that we can contact him for the investing. Jeff, how can we contact him? Over you or over where? I'm a school student, so can I make a note, Tarek, I need you, or what should I do?
Yeah, great question. And I would just encourage you to email it into our support team. They'll definitely be able to forward it in. Yeah, for sure. If you're an existing homeschool student, that's the perfect email, and you have that, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it.
All right, so Benson, any last words? I know we're wrapping up. We went again. What was this? 2 hour and a half? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
There's still close to 100 people here. Like,
I know.
This is amazing. Well, first off, just thank you for sitting and hanging out and letting me ramble and be part of your community for a little bit. I love doing this stuff, as you can see. Like, this stuff is what keeps me up at night. I was telling Coach today or earlier, I told him I woke up, I went to bed, 1 o'clock in the morning rolls around, I'm still not sleeping. I come down and I start working behind my computer because this is the kind of stuff that keeps me up at night. And you know why? Because it's fun and it's exciting, and I want to provide and over deliver for everybody here. You know, the data, the software, what it does, like it drives me crazy. But I do it because I want you guys to succeed. Like I don't want someone to use our software and think, oh, that doesn't work for me. Like, well, why? Let me fix it for you. Like that's how passionate I am for this. And so if you come on board, you're going to get tons of support. You're going to have the guarantee. You could literally use Privy for 30 days and close 10 deals and quit and still get your $814 back. But you wouldn't, right? Because you just closed 10 deals, right? Because it works, right? It will work for you too. So could get on board, use the system. I'm here for you. Coach Jeff is here for you. Tarek's here for you. And I'm just excited to work with all you guys. It's going to be a blast. You know, I'm excited to talk to Melanie. She was just telling us she closed her first deal. Congratulations. And I know there's other people here who are doing well too. Let's do it, you guys. This is the time to do it. And by the way, December is one of the best times to actually get deals done because everyone kind of sits back and hangs out and drinks eggnog and watches A Christmas Story, right? This is when you can go and make a lot of money because everyone else is slacking. Let's do it.
Benson, I love it. Again, virtual high fives from everybody. Come on, give them some high fives. I see the love in the chat box. Yep. I also want to give a shout out to a couple of our coaches that hung out. We got Coach Cheryl in your home state, Colorado. She's over there. And Lisa's in Connecticut, 10 o'clock her time. You talk about dedication. We do love this stuff. We talk it, we walk it, we love real estate, and we love helping and coaching and training up other real estate investors. It's a win-win situation. So with that, I know we got another webinar tomorrow night and Thursday night. So we're making up for our off week and Thanksgiving and really rolling into December in a big, big way. So with that, everybody, I'm going to let us go and have a great rest of your night. Go get a late dinner or a snack before and get a good night's sleep. And we'll see y'all tomorrow or the next broadcast. Take care, everybody. Thanks,
bye, everyone.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye now.